Hearts and open minds on this beautiful day. And this is our last Sunday in April, so you've still got goodies on your chair this morning. So you've got a card of inspirational quotes, and then you've got a seed packet and a blossom. And this is in honor and celebration of Earth Day that we just had. So this is Earth Day Sunday. And so we celebrate the beauty of our earth, we celebrate the infinite variety of nature, and we're so blessed to get to do it together on this beautiful day in Port Townsend, Washington. And I'm going to be your platform person and minister today. So David is on a trip, and so you won't have to look back and forth. We'll just stay right here this morning. So welcome to all of you on Zoom. Welcome to all of you here in person. And let us begin by singing Come Light, Light of God, and then we'll do our affirmation to remind us who and what we are as a spiritual family and community. Together, and you at home may sing along and light your candles as well. This is the lighting of the Christ candle to remind us of the divine within not only us, but all of life. Come light, light of God, give light to creation, enlighten our hearts, and remain with your world. Come light, light of God, give light to creation, enlighten our hearts, and remain with your world. And to have that happen, we have our mantra to remind us. We are an authentic, transformative, spiritual community centered in God. We co-create a world that works for all. I invite you to stand now. Now that we're back in person, we get to stand as well as sit. You could do the same thing at home. Dance around if you feel like it. We're going to do I Am Home and then the wonderful classic For the Beauty of the Earth, which is one of my absolute favorites. Anytime we have anything relating to Earth Day, this has got to be on the list. So, I am home.
I am home, I am home. I have traveled far along this road, and now I'm home. Shalom, shalom. In the love of God, I am home. I am home, I am home. I have traveled far along this road, and now I'm home. Shalom, shalom. In the love of God, I am home.
For the beauty of the earth.
For the beauty of the earth, for the glory of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. Lord of all
Please be seated. Oh, and so now David's time of inspirational reading and the daily word. And the inspirational reading that I'm going to share comes from, it's attributed to Chief Seattle, although there are people who say someone else actually wrote it, but it's been attributed to him. And it's one that we've heard for years, but I invite you to hear it with fresh ears this day. And I was thinking about Earth Day and realizing what an amazing orb of blue and white and green and brown that we abide on. And I think there have been 3 key events in our lifetimes in relation to that. The first one was the first time the astronauts went up into space, and we got to see our home from out there. It gave us this sense of global oneness and like, oh my gosh, and it's so fragile and yet so strong. It holds all of this life. It's just this beautiful orb there in the cosmos, and then we're on it. The second one that I think was amazing was the turning of the millennium, when we had the wave of light go around the globe, beginning with the little canoe in Tonga and going all the way around to all the different countries. I'll never forget that night. Cuba was closed off at that time, but they showed celebrations. People who were out in the country, people who were in big cities, the Eiffel Tower went off, and that web of light went all the way around the globe. And we all celebrated a communal moment of shift of time and space together. And I think that's when we realize not only is this an amazing orb, but that we're part of the web that is on it. In the sky is Indra's web of the stars, and on the earth is our web of our interconnectedness of life. And then the third was the pandemic that we're in the process of emerging from now. And it's a bit like coming out of a chrysalis. It's still a little sticky and dark, but we're getting there. We're getting our wings. And with this going in where the whole world kind of went home and didn't go out and drive their cars and drive the trucks and do all the things we normally do, how quickly Mother Earth began to heal. All around the world, the air cleared. They said you could be anywhere in LA and see the ocean instead of smog. In Venice, the waters cleared and the dolphins returned. It was amazing. And so we realized that we can make a difference in terms of how we interact on this globe that we share and as we connect with each other. And so I invite this Earth Sunday to be a rededication for all of us, to doing whatever we can, small or large, to tenderly care for this planet, our Gaia, our Mother Earth, the rest of humanity, and all of the kingdoms of creation, mineral, plant, and animal. They are all a beautiful part of this. And so Chief Seattle says it even better than I can. Every part of this earth is sacred to my people. Every shining pine needle, every tender shore, every vapor in the dark woods, every clearing, every humming insect are holy in the memory and experience of my people. All things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the sons and daughters of the earth. Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a strand in it. And whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. And so with that, the daily word is gather. And I love that because we gather together to find blessings, to offer blessings, and to be the presence of light, co-creating a world that works for all. The daily word, gather. We gather and magnify the presence of God. Isn't that beautiful? Let's think about that phrase, that wherever we go in the world and cross paths with all of life in all of its forms, but most especially humanity, we gather and magnify the presence of God. As I gather with others in the spirit of love and peace, my awareness of God's presence becomes more powerful, even palpable. Together, we create an energy, a vibration greater than any of us has alone. I am comfortable and at ease when I notice our differing appearances, preferences, backgrounds, and opinions, because I am reminded of the limitless diversity of divine expression and my place in it. When I join in fellowship with my family, friends, and all others who are dear to me, each of us becomes a mirror for the others. We see in one another the divine presence that lives in and expresses as every person. The unifying energy of divine love unites and binds us together. In this love, we are one. And from Psalm 133:1, how very good and pleasant it is when kindred live together in unity. Isn't that a wonderful passage? Let's send that out to the whole world together. How very good and pleasant it is when kindreds live together in unity. We gather and magnify the presence of God, and how blessed we are to be part of that. And so we now enter into the time of inner prayer and meditation. I invite you to settle in. We're going to do the beautiful chant, Surely the Presence. And this is one that is a classic unity song. It's one that in ministerial school we used to open each day with as we started class. So this has very special meaning, and it takes me back that first few days of ministerial. What in the world am I doing here? And how do I get that paper done? And I'm going to be a minister. That means I have to speak in public. All of that comes back, and this song helped inspire us to become the ministers for unity that we each have dedicated ourselves to being. So this is for all of my classmates and all of my instructors wherever they are. Surely the presence will settle us into meditation, and then we will sing it again as we come out. So as you go into meditation, close your eyes, and then when you're ready, as we sing it again, open your eyes and see this presence everywhere. Surely the presence.
Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel love's mighty power and love's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel love's mighty power and love's grace. of love is in this place.
So settle in to this moment in time and space, and know that wherever you could have been, you chose to be part of this moment, not only for yourself, but to bring your light to all of those gathered here, whether near or far, in body or in spirit. You are here present in this moment, not only to uplift your own soul on this journey we call life, but also to be a divine channel of presence for others, exactly as you are, being simply willing. And so settle into this moment now, in silence and stillness, and just relax and breathe and be present. We now bring together into this moment prayers for peace, for all of humanity, for all of nature, for all of creation in this realm and beyond. We link our prayers for peace with all of those all around the world who are holding these prayers this day with us. As our prayers link, they create a great web of light that covers the globe. And we unite in sending a great wave of loving light and presence, tender, loving care, compassion, and wisdom, and peace to those places in conflict this day. May hearts be softened by this great wave of loving light. May eyes see new possibilities for peace. May we hear one another as God hears us. And may this sense of unity with all of creation shift our world into that consciousness where we co-create a world that works for all. As an inspiration for our prayer this morning, I've chosen a blessing litany from the Chinook tribe that is in this area. And so we send our Chinook brothers and sisters an honoring for all of the generations where they have held near and dear Mother Earth and nature and all of life. We receive now this blessing that comes through ancestors to us and through us to those yet to come. The Chinook Blessing Litany. We call upon the earth, our planet home, with its beautiful depths and soaring heights, its vitality and abundance of life. And together we ask that it teach us and show us the way. We call upon the mountains, the Cascades and the Olympics, the high green valleys and meadows filled with wildflowers, the snows that never melt, the summits of intense silence. And we ask that they teach us and show us the way. We call upon the waters that rim the earth horizon to horizon, that flow in our rivers and streams, that fall upon our gardens and fields. And we ask that they teach us and show us the way. We call upon the land which grows our food, the nurturing soil, the fertile fields, the abundant gardens and orchards. And we ask that they teach us and show us the way. We call upon the forests, the great trees, reaching strongly to the sky with earth in their roots and heaven in their branches. The fir and the pine and the cedar. And we ask them to teach us and show us the way. We call upon the creatures of the fields and forests and the seas, our brothers and sisters, the wolves and deer, the eagle and dove, the great whales and the dolphin, the beautiful orca and salmon who share our northwest home. And we ask them to teach us and show us the way. We call upon all those who have lived on this earth, our ancestors and friends, who dreamed the best for future generations, and upon whose our lives are built. With thanksgiving, we call upon them now to teach us and show us the way. And lastly, we call upon all that we hold most sacred, the presence and power of the great Spirit of love and truth, which flows through all the universe, to be with us, to teach us and show us the way. Take a moment and allow some essence of nature or ancestors, some aspect of humanity or the angelic realms, the creatures, to come in this moment and be with you and offer you a personal gift that will help teach you and show you the way to be more loving and peaceful than ever. And now, with deep gratitude and knowing that your unity with this presence is ever there, release them as they give you a blessing and you offer yours. And so now, in this place of knowing and presence, I invite you to bring all the prayers that are yours this day for yourself and others, this spiritual family, and our shared world. Bring them now and know that as you offer them and release them on the very wind of spirit into the heart of divine presence, You are doing it in unity with all of us who walk with you. We unite and uplift our prayers now. We add to these prayers all of those entrusted to our High Watch prayer chaplains, written, spoken, or sent soul to soul. And we invite the presence of the divine to be present with all in new and amazing ways. We trust this, and our hearts overflow with joy, knowing that we are blessed to co-create not only our lives, but our shared world. What a deep and rich and high calling. We rededicate ourselves to the path of the living light, the path of the Christ, the Atman, the Buddha. As we link inner and outer, as we sing Surely the Presence once again, and whenever you feel ready as you sing this chant, open your eyes and see the presence not only here in this room, but in our shared world in powerful ways. Surely the presence.
Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel love's mighty power and love's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel love's mighty power and love's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
Look at your seed pack and look at your flower. You are the seed and you are the blossoming. You are the presence. I behold the divine in each of you, and I give thanks that you are all present in this world with me. And so it is. And now, beautiful piece of music with our own Clara. God, you are.
God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything God, you are. Every moon glow, God, you are. Every star shine, every inch of earth and sky, God, you are. Every springtime, God, you are. Every snowfall, God, you are. Every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe. And your perfect love created me. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Clara. Didn't that say everything? I just love that. Everything is divine. Chief Seattle would have been proud of that song. Someone else who's a writer from around the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, it's one of my favorite, is Corinne Helene. And she wrote the book that I've mentioned before, Mystery of the Christos, that is how the journey of Jesus through the course of his life, through birth, through his teachings and his ministry, and through the crucifixion and the resurrection and the ascension, all shares how it ties in with the cycles of nature, with the cycles of our own lives. It's not only a master walking the path on this earth, it's a master saying, follow me, walk with me. Jesus never said, I'll walk ahead and you all come whenever. He was always saying, come, see who you really are. You're a spark of the divine just like I am. And so this template that he created always included nature. The miracles included nature. The teachings included nature. He was always giving examples that reminded us that all things are connected. And by giving us examples in nature, it helped us put things in more perspective. Just looking at the seasons of summer, fall, winter, spring. Think about how in your life those seasons have played out. Those are marked by the movement of the sun and the moon, the great lights in the sky. And then we also have not only that Indra's web of the turning of the seasons, we also have the celebrations that are us living and embodied here in the world and part of this web of life. And those are celebrated in all of the earth-based traditions, and they're usually called the cross-quarter days. So if you've got the equinoxes and the solstices, these are the days halfway in between each of those. And there are times of energy shift where it's the perfect time to do a ritual and to recognize the presence of the divine right where you are. Samhain is the one that we call Halloween, All Hallows Eve. It's about ancestors and spirits. Imbolc in February is about awakening. You're still in the belly of winter, but things are stirring. It's like the quickening of a baby in the mother's womb. Beltane is coming up next weekend. May the 1st is Beltane, also called May Day. And it's a day when they do the maypole with all the different colored ribbons and people dance. And that's about the bright light and the flowering that comes with spring. And then Lunasa is the harvest. It's the cross-quarter day celebration of bringing in the harvest. And it's the god known as Lu, who is light, but it's a different light than the one earlier. This is the light as it comes within and we light our hearths. And so you have these great cosmic celebrations, and then you've got the ones right down here on the earth where we get to celebrate. What does that presence look like, and how do we encounter it? In Stargates, Corinne Helene's other book, she says this: man is a universe in miniature. Isn't that great? Man is a universe in miniature. All that lies about him and the heavens and upon the earth have their small reflection in his being. So the great wheel of the universe turns, and to the man on earth it breeds seed time and harvest, light and darkness, heat and cold. But viewed with the eye of spirit, each season as it comes and goes renders its own unique contribution to human unfoldment. And the gifts that it brings are spiritual as well as material. Interconnected. Matthew Fox, in his Creation Spirituality, said it in one of my favorite ways: we are the cosmos and the cosmos is us. That concept of a web of life of which we are a strand is found in all of the world traditions. In The Return of Merlin, magic, which I particularly like, Deepak Chopra says every new event is like a new thread spun in the web of time, and these threads issue from you. There is nothing out there that you did not dream in here first. Reclaim your power. No one can dream forth a world of love and peace except for you. Just got goosebumps. In the Buddhist and Vedic tradition, you've got Indra's net or Indra's web, that's the stars in the sky, and where the threads of life cross is where the stars shine. Those are the intersections of the web. In the earth-based, we have Grandmother Spider from the Puebla and Hopi and Navajo and Anasazi. Grandmother Spider weaves life into being. In the Celtic, particularly Welsh tradition, it's Arianrhod with her silver wheel of stars that creates the world and karma. In the Greek, the triple goddess of fate, the Morai, who wove life and destiny together. In Islam, it is a spider that weaves a thread and a web that protects Muhammad when he prays. In the Hindu traditions and the Upanishads, the universe grows from that which is imperishable into manifestation, just as a spider pours forth the web from itself and then takes it back again to weave anew. The modern physicist David Bohm said, everything interpenetrates everything else. All is ultimately a seamless web. Julian of Norwich, who I've mentioned this month and as part of the workshop that I've been doing, was quite amazing. And she lived in a time of pandemic. And the thing that I took most away from that is that she says, when you're in a time of crisis, when you're going through one of those seasons, one of those unfoldings, the most important thing to do is to explore more deeply what your heart and soul truly desire and what your heart and soul are truly capable of. Because we can be more loving than we possibly ever could have imagined. And this earth tradition and loving and weaving together the earth, just like Jesus and all the great masters did, is something we're called to do. And we're blessed to be in a spiritual group that has followed the thread that I call the Church of Amor, the Church of Love, rather than the Church of Roma, the church of outer doctrine and theology. Because in this tradition, nature is seen as blessed and not something evil. The divine feminine is welcomed rather than reviled. It's about love and grace rather than sin and redemption. Major theological difference. It's seeing the divine in all of life now rather than saying, well, maybe you can have it if you're really good after you die. It's saying it is here and now. One of my favorite theologians said that in the traditional theology, you can only be saved while you're in your body on this planet. This is Origen. And he said, no. He said, that doesn't make any sense. If we're eternal spiritual beings, and if Jesus has created this place to welcome us, why in the world would it be impossible to be saved as your journey continues on the other side? And he said, I believe that the love of God lived through the man Jesus is there waiting to welcome us. Does that mean we shouldn't do everything we can while we're here for good? No. In fact, if anything, it calls us to be more present than ever before because we have been gifted with being able to see the beauty of the divine right here and right now. And I think that's the bottom line for what all of life is about. We were in unitive consciousness with God, and then there was the quote, fall. I think it was an invitation to come into conscious connection with God by choice, by action, by willingness, by soul growth. And so we are present. The angels say we have great courage for being in this dimension. We are called to behold the presence of the divine in everything. And then we will be consciously one with the divine, which is what the intention was all the way along. Jesus said it, I'm the light, you're the light. Let your light shine. I love the fact that the new pope really honors the earth. And he's done some major declarations about the importance of caring for Mother Earth. He did a declaration about 3 years ago to honor the divine feminine by saying that Mary Magdalene was the apostle to the apostles. This is healing this separation. Origen, who said, you can talk to Jesus even after you leave the physical realm, got excommunicated for that. But doesn't it make sense? If God is love and we emerge through that portal we call birth, we live this life and then we go out through that portal we call death, our soul is present all along the way. So I thought about what could I recommend? How can I frame things so that I can stay connected to that core theology as I go through all of the interesting challenges that life brings, where it takes a little while to unwrap the wrapping paper around the presence of God. Sometimes you have to pick up rocks, which is one of the great phrases from the Gospel of Thomas. Cleave a piece of wood and I am there. Turn a stone and turn a wing. Isn't that beautiful? Gospel of Thomas. And so I found 4 A's. A+, how's that? As to how to be more present, more deeply in your world, and to do the soul work that Julian calls us to explore more deeply what your heart and soul desire and what they are capable of. The first one is to accept. And you know what? I'll type these up. We'll put them out on the email this week on Tuesday. So that'll help you remember them. I promise I'll do that. So accept where you are. As long as you're resistant to where you are, you're not present. And you can't notice the path that may be hard to see, but comes and meets you right where you are. For those of you who've done 12-step programs, accepting where you are is the beginning of the journey. Number 2, affirm. Affirm the presence of God in everything. And with the work that I've done in my life as a special ed teacher, multi-handicapped children, as a nurse, as a chaplain, as a minister, there are times where you really have to look in the midst of horrific events or tragedy, but I promise you the presence of God is always there. It may just be someone who puts a hand on the shoulder of someone who is grieving. That is the presence of God. People dedicating their lives to service, to help. That is the presence of God. So notice, Emmett Fox said, the golden key to all faith is quite simply remembering the presence of God. Number 3, and this one is the one that I sometimes struggle with, adapt. Adapt. Be willing to let go of what was so you can begin to create what can yet be. Honor the path you've been on. Celebrate where you are right now and look forward with hope to that which is yet to come. Be willing to adapt. There was a show I saw that was on one of the 60 Minutes or something, and it was all these people who had made it to 100. And they said, how did you get this far? A lot of them said genetics. Most of them, however, the thing that it came down to more than anything else, it wasn't whether they drank or not, whether they exercised or not, all of those outer things that we hear about. Do you know what it was? It was the fact that they could adapt to change. And not only could they adapt to change, but they could find blessings and love, even when life wasn't as free and as easy as it had been when they were younger. Being really present and adapting. And the pandemic has done, if nothing else, it has called us to adapt. In fact, a lot of us are coped out at this point. And we need to recognize that and be kind with one another for that. It's okay to be coped out. It means you've been coping for quite a while. But gift yourself some time, days off. The Easter time, Jesus goes into the tomb, and it's a 3-day process before he comes back out and says hi. If you're in the midst of something, gift yourself with 3 days. Go away, turn off your phone, whatever you need to do. And the first day, just settle in and rest. Sleep. Go for a walk, take a bubble bath, whatever soothes your soul. Rest so that you can adapt. The second day, begin to think about what's going on this journey of your soul, and journal a little bit. Don't set goals yet. Just journal and figure out, where are you? And accept it, and then where are you seeing God right now? Even if it's just a tiny spark. And then on the third day, begin to decide, what do you want to do next? What's the next step? And then when you come out, don't go rushing back into life, because you're still settling in to adapting. Jesus even told Magdalene, don't touch me, I'm not quite done yet. And he came into the garden, a place of peace, surrounded by someone he loved. Don't go running back into your life full tilt. I used to do that when I'd come back from pilgrimage, and then I broke my leg in France, and I could not run and jump in with both feet. It was a great soul lesson. Give yourself time to come up with some new ways to adapt and to feel your way into them and experience them in meditation so that you can step out and manifest them. And then finally, the fourth A, appreciate. They say if you practice only one spiritual practice in your whole life, let it be gratitude. Wake up in the morning in gratitude for the day, and at the end of the day, be in gratitude for the day and the night to come. Then the next morning, I'm in gratitude for the night and the coming day. So appreciate, because when you appreciate, you strengthen your spiritual eyes to see those blessings, because you know they're there, and they show up with more clarity for those who are in a space of gratitude, because you've already created the field in which the seed is planted that will grow in right and perfect season. And it's true for all of us. Black Elk says this, and I was seeing in a sacred manner the shapes of all things in spirit, and the shape of all things as they must live together like one being. And I saw that the sacred hoop of my people was one of many hoops, and they formed one great circle, wide as starlight and as daylight. And in the center grew a mighty flowering tree to shelter all of the children of the one mother and the one father, and I saw that it was holy. Accept, affirm, adapt, and appreciate. But where do you begin? The last quote has a little picture of Julian of Norwich on your inspiration card. Where do we begin? Begin with the heart. Always begin with the heart. And so let this Earth Sunday be a time where you rededicate and renew yourself to be present here in the earth, to see that presence and to be that presence, to honor it in yourself and to honor it in others. Because we truly do all sit beneath one great flowering tree that floats as this beautiful orb in the sky of the cosmos. And it is all holy. Let us pray. Oh, sweet, sweet Spirit, abiding presence of the divine. In you we live, we move, and we have our being. Be present with us and inspire us in all the seasons of our lives, in all of the celebrations as we integrate those cycles into who we are and what we do. And may we remember always that we are the cosmos, and the cosmos is in us. Each of you is a soul that made a choice to be present in this world, in this time. You are here doing holy work. Please know how much you are loved and appreciated and blessed for your willingness to be present here and now with peace and compassion, wisdom, love, and grace. And so it is. Om, amen, and blessed be. And now song, what a wonderful world. Isn't that perfect? And I think about our dear, dear Unity friend, Bill Davis, who is still alive. He's in Dallas, and his sons are taking beautiful care of him. Lane and I got to see him, and he always loved to sing this song. So everyone stand and let's sing What a Wonderful World, and send a blessing to Bill and Louis Armstrong in spirit to thank them for the energy of this beautiful song.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Oh, please be seated. And so now we come to the time of the service where we share the gifts that we have received and allow ourselves to be channels to pass those blessings onwards. This is your life up till now. This is the gift that you offer. This is who you are. So I invite you to bless us with your loving support in prayer, in prosperity, and in presence. All of those are so important. So we now open to receive the flow of prosperity that lets us bless this spiritual family and our world. Your gifts are appreciated beyond words. And so we'll sing Blessed Be as Diane and Carol collect the offering. 2 offering angels today.
Blessed be the earth and all her creatures. Blessed be the earth and all her land. Blessed be the air, the sky, and water. Blessed be each woman, man, and child. Grateful, we're so grateful. Grateful, yes, we're grateful. Blessed be the earth and all her creatures. Blessed be the earth and all her land. Blessed be the sky. Blessed be each woman, child, and man. Grateful, we're so grateful. Grateful, yes, grateful. Blessed be the earth and all her creatures. Blessed be the earth and all her land. Blessed be the air, the sky, and water. Blessed be each woman, child, and man. Blessed, grateful, blessed, grateful.
Oh, that was wonderful. Ho, ho, yes. And so we bless these offerings. We bless those who give them. We bless the divine flow that is presence always with us. And just like the heartbeat of that drum, we are the heartbeat of spirit, and these gifts let us go forward blessed and blessing. And so it is. And now, you know how I tell you we always need to dance between spirit and earth? The announcements. This is about, and the announcements are wonderful because this is how we're embodying all of this stuff we're talking about. It's how we're finding ways to live it together. And this spiritual community, when we got this building, decided to call it the Unity Spiritual Enrichment Center. And that will ultimately be the name of Unity Church. We voted back in the Masonic Hall before we even found this building that was the direction we were growing in, because we wanted it to be a place that would welcome people who were studying the path of spirit. And if you go on our website, you see how many different ways we're doing that. Reverend Roberts on Crowdcast this afternoon. Rev Simon comes and does he's got his Wednesday prayer thing. So even when people go on to other locales, because of the way the web works now, we can still all be together. We have Ananda meditation groups, we have Buddhist meditation groups, we have Sanghas, we have Wednesday high noon prayers, and Tibetan meditations, yoga, and kirtan. So go online and find a place where you can do some practices that will help you when you get to that A that's adapt. Because to do it with other people helps. We've got the Tuesday morning class at 10:30, alternating between Mary Magdalene and our current book, Sacred Earth, Sacred Soul, which is the one it will be this week. And this afternoon, I was going to be doing the second part of the workshop on transcending difficult times. And I've had a number of people ask and say, I missed it, I want to do it. So I will be presenting it again at some point in the near future. But Our group wanted to meet again, and we were going to do it today, but over half the people couldn't. So we're rescheduling it. So if you're part of that group, there's an email waiting for you with 2 dates for possibilities for us to regather. So I think that's it. Lane.
Can I please add something?
Yes, yes.
I asked you before you left this morning.
Oh,
I was too busy getting ready.
ready for the.
And I also have to admit, I sent a message out to one of my business friends wishing him a happy Easter. And he quickly reminded me, Easter was last week. I said, that's okay, I'm old. This is Earth Day, so happy last Easter. I just want to recognize something that I think is crucially important along what Pam said about Earth Day. If you look around this room, there are many people who have contributed, not only with their presence over the past years that we have been in this building. Look at all the wall hangings that was done by a number of people. That was done by Leonard and Daniel's wife, who has since passed. She did all the tapestries. Who did the front of the church? He did that painting on the back there of the development. He did the painting on the mural on the outside of the building. We tend to forget those things. There was a lot of equity, sweat equity that went into this church. He helped build its deck, David the goldsmith. Many of us contributed. So anyway, this is a labor of love that is built this place. So in that, you're going to be getting a message in the next few days about the ways that you can share your love to this church. I'm going to ask Beverly to send out a note. We just brought in 10 yards of mulch to adorn the garden beds with. We won't do any beds by itself. I'm going to be sending out a note inviting you to come to maybe a cookout and help us spread that joy. So thank you for that.
Yes. And so now let's form our circle and sing, Yes, There is Peace on Earth. And I love it when I came to this church 18 years ago, instead of Let There Be Peace, it's Yes, There is Peace. We are claiming it here and now. Here we go. Yes, here we go.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be with God as Creator. United all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every breath I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
And we know the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Woo! And now I'll get the chime and blow out the candle. This takes a little bit of timing to do both. Are you ready? Gong, candle, gong. Isn't this just like life? Adapt. Go forth blessed and blessing. Mwah.